Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, everyone. May mercy, peace, and blessings be upon all of you. For Ramadan, and the reason why I took this topic was because there is a very lack of awareness among the Muslims, especially of today, about health and emotional issues. And therefore, through this series of Talking Sense with Aaliyah, I plan to, highlight on these aspects which are so very prominent and so much happening and are of quite importance, especially in being productive in our life. So, what I have found is, especially even in Muslims who are very spiritually inclined, they do not have, a kind of importance of health and all these aspects, though they have a lot of importance in our narrations. For example, if you see one of the hadith of Ibn Abbas anhu, in which he is mentioned that two blessings which people do not make the most use of is good health and spare time. Huda is back. Yeah. So it always happens with the Wi-Fi connections. They generally tend to go in and out. But anyways, here we'll start discussing on this topic. We have with us a dietitian and nutritionist, Ms. Huda Sheikh. I know her personally, but for those who don't know her, we can have her introduce herself. So, Assalamu alaikum, Huda. Glad to have you here, dear. Alhamdulillah, I know about you, but for others who don't know, can you just tell us something about yourself?
Walaikum Assalam, Aaliyah. I have a master's degree in clinical nutrition and dietetics. So I'm basically a clinical nutritionist and dietitian by profession. I also have my own website, which is known as NutriBond. It's www.nutribond.co.in. So it has been working from the past 10 months, and I'm somebody who is into writing health-related blogs. So I've written almost 60 health-related blogs till now. And I am somebody who makes sure that my patients, my clients are very, very motivated. Okay, motivation is the key. If you need to lose weight, if you want your blood sugar levels to come down, motivation is very, very important because without lack of motivation, there is nothing a person can do in life. And also constant follow-ups is something that I focus on. So writing has always been my forte, and hence I feel writing makes me, it helps me convey my message to the people out there who want to become more aware about nutrition and diet. And that is what I basically do. And I am, I keep on researching about the new studies that come, because every second day we have a new study that says, okay, green tea is good, green tea is bad. So hence it's very, very important that I stay upbeat with all the researches which come out. And so that is what helps me in counseling my patients. It makes my work much more easier. Also, I would like to say I am glad to be a part of this live session, because I always wanted to do something on Ramadan, because as you said, we Muslims are a little unaware about the kind of foods we should be selecting, about the kind of foods we should be eating during Ramadan. And hence I think this is just going to be really, really helpful for all the Muslims out there who just want to become more aware about diet and nutrition. Yes, Anya.
Yeah, that's great, mashallah. I mean, in fact, that's the thing which I'm finding these days is that, more in every aspect, whether as a coach or anything, a lot of motivation is required. And this is one thing which is prominent. So whether you're in the health sector or any other sector, a lot of importance is given to be actually motivated. And that is a very essential part, that if a dietitian has got both of them, it's awesome, alhamdulillah. That was a very nice introduction of yourself. I would like to know from you, that what are, some of the benefits of fasting? Because as Muslim, we keep fast, but most of the people actually do not realize the health benefits or aspects out of it. The spiritual aspects, alhamdulillah, most of us are aware of. So what can you say about the benefits of, the health benefits of fasting?
Alia, the health benefits of fasting are enormous. Okay, let me start with the first thing. Most of us, we go on a detox diet. We either go on a fruits and veggies diet. In order to detoxify our body, you are just able to do it with fasting itself. You don't need to go on a detoxification diet, but then it is very, very important that you do it in the right way. What we do is most of the times, during suhoor, we end up eating something which is very heavy, and during iftar, again, we eat something which is very fried and heavy. So again, the main idea of detoxification. So even if you see in our, what Islam says is basically it's a detoxification not only of the body but of the mind itself. So you need to be, it makes you feel really better when you fast. Second thing, if done properly, it can lead to weight loss, because when you are not eating enough, okay, when you're not eating, the body is not getting glucose. And in those terms, the body will utilize the fat cells that are there in your body to generate energy. And that is how you will lose weight. It can also help in boosting your metabolism. It can help in speeding up your metabolism, because when you're not eating for a very long period of time, the body knows that, okay, it is not getting enough food, and hence, whenever you eat food, it is going to utilize that energy quickly. Then it also improves insulin sensitivity. So if you see, for diabetics, it is a very good thing. Just like you might just see many doctors or many people might say, because you're a diabetic, you should not be fasting. But the insulin sensitivity during fasting increases. Okay, it is enhanced by fasting, and hence I think it's a great idea for diabetics to also go on a fast for a few days. Again, it can also help you in clearing up your skin, because if you're suffering from any skin issues, it is going to be very, very good for you. It will cleanse your skin if you are eating the proper balance of fruits, vegetables, water, and foods which are good for your skin. It is actually going to be very, very helpful in clearing up your skin. So if you see, it also helps you in maintaining your eating patterns. It also helps you in putting your eating patterns into place. Now, most of the times we have a very, very erratic schedule. Okay, we tend to eat, we might just eat lunch, we might just skip our dinner. When we are fasting, we know, our body knows what exactly and when exactly we are going to get food, and hence the eating patterns tend to regularize. So when we say you need to eat every 2 to 3 hours, the body can then sense that, okay, I need to eat the right amount of foods in order to stay healthy. So if you see, our body is a very, very intelligent machine. It knows everything, and Allah has made it so well that, when you are fasting, the body exactly knows what kind of foods it needs. So I would just request everybody out there that when you are fasting, it has to be restricted to fasting. Don't feel that you can just feast during iftar and you can just eat all kinds of wrong foods because it is Ramadan. No, you should not. It is actually loading up your body if you are eating the wrong kind of foods. So when we are looking at weight loss, we will end up gaining weight. We won't lose weight. So very, very, that is what I was trying to say. It's very, very important to eat the right kind of food. So when you are fasting, the body exactly knows what true hunger is. Because otherwise, what happens is, even if we are not hungry, we will just pick up a pack of chips, a pack of biscuits, or anything as a pack, a slab of chocolate, and we will just go and eat it. Otherwise, when you are hungry, okay, when you are fasting, you exactly know what true hunger is. So you empathize with the poor. When you are fasting, you know what happens when you don't get food, for 12 hours in a day, when you don't get food for 10 hours in a day. So I think that it gives you self-realization. So, there are umpteen number of benefits, as I said. So fasting in itself is like, it's like a detox, it's like a cleanse, not just of your body, not just of your, not just physically, but mentally as well. So, as I said, it's good for diabetics. It is good if you want to lose weight. It is good if you want to speed up your metabolism. It is good if you want to cleanse your system, detox your system, because it is something that is happening on its own. You don't have to, do any expensive cleanses like a master cleanse, like a fruit and veggies diet, or a detox diet, as for that matter. So it's like simplifying your life for a month. It's like making your life much more better. It's like making your that 1 month of Ramadan is where we become very, very disciplined, whether it's in terms of eating, whether it's in terms of nutrition, whether it is in terms of, getting up in the morning and praying, whether it is in terms of praying 5 times in a day. So it's in all a way of self-realization. It's in all a way wherein you can just, you know, wherein you can just mentally understand that, okay, this is the kind of life I need to lead in order to stay healthy. So I think when you fast, you really understand what kind of a life you are supposed to live, what kind of nutrition you're supposed to take in. And I think that is what Ramadan is all about. Yes, Alia.
Yeah, that's a very good thing. I mean, that's what, there are so many health aspects of fasting, and people do not realize it. And yeah, and I also had, I had read it in the paper that, fasting actually helps get rid of the, of the initial stages of cancer, like the initial stages of cancer, like if
Absolutely.
it has got minor cancers and all, because and that is the reason why what we find is in today's world there is so many cases of cancer and spreading all across, because because of the kind of lifestyle we have, we overeat a lot, and compared to our grandparents who ate less and worked more, we are have a sedentary lifestyle and we eat more, as a result of which I think a lot more energy which should be used for immunity purpose is being utilized to digest food, and as a result of which, the smaller types of tumors also we are not able to deal with, and that is also
It
subhanallah.
can,
Yeah.
yeah, it can also improve your, actually it can increase your life, because it is also known to increase your longevity, because it's many studies have advocated that the less you eat, the more you live. Okay, so basically that is also one thing which studies have shown, and hence I feel that, fasting should be restricted to fasting. We should not make it feasting, because Allah has actually given us a month of Ramadan for self-realization, and to pray more and eat less. But what we end up doing is we just eat more and pray less. So that should not be the case. We should focus more on praying. We should focus more on connecting with Allah, rather than making samosas, rather than making pakoras, rather than making some spring rolls. It's okay if you want to make it once in a while, but then if you say that, okay, every time, every day, we'll cook a new recipe and we'll do this, we'll do that, and we just forget praying, I think that's really not a very good thing to do. You can feast once in a while, but make sure when it's fasting, it's restricted to fasting.
Yeah,
So,
that's very important, and that is why I think most of it you've covered. Like, that was my next question also. That about how do generally people eat during the month of Ramadan, and what are the effects? Like I also found people having gastric or acidity related problems over here in the month of Ramadan. So what do you have to say about that?
absolutely, Alia. What happens is, if supposedly you are having your suhoor, and for suhoor you have something as heavy as, keema, pav, or you have something, you have a gravy which was cooked last night, and you have the same gravy with rice. So what happens is, all of these things, because they are very, most of the times in our Muslim households, we have food which is, high in oil, more in salt. So what happens is, it just ends up crashing our metabolism. It just ends up crashing our energy levels. Also, we just, I've also seen people, they will, rather than having water, they will opt for, a Coke, or they will opt for something that should not be, they will have soda. So all of these things just end up trashing your levels, just end up trashing your metabolism, and it makes your metabolism much more sluggish. So if you have to lose weight, you are not going to lose weight. For iftar also, as I said, people just end up eating too much of sweet, too much of oily foods. It will be a rabdi, or it will be jalebi, or it will be, it will be a spring roll, which is like fried, and then you will have these pizzas, the base is actually made up of maida, which is refined flour. So again, it is not good for the system. So we just end up eating the wrong kinds of foods, and then we just feel so sluggish, we feel so tired because we have just eaten the wrong kinds of foods. Also, if you eat too much of oily foods, too many refined foods, it might just end up with, your skin might just end up with breakouts. So the main idea of Ramadan, of fasting, was to clear up your skin. But what did you do? You actually ate the wrong kind of foods and you ended up with more breakouts. So that is one thing. Then people have many digestive issues. Either they might face constipation, either they might face acidity with the wrong kind of foods that they eat, as you rightly mentioned, because it might be very spicy, it might be very high on oil, it might be very salty, very sugary. So all of these things, and these things just don't have short term, uh, you know, short term. It is not just a short term goal, but in the long term also, if you see, these foods can actually have a very bad effect on your system on the whole. And as they say, if your stomach is upset, in all, you are going to be upset, because somewhere everything just starts from your digestive system. If you are getting the right kind of foods, if you are eating the right kind of foods, the right kind of energy goes to your brain, and that is how your brain functions. So in short, if you eat the wrong kinds of foods during Ramadan, your productivity is going to go low. So if you're thinking, I'm going to work for, because it is Ramadan, I'll be able to work till 2 or 3 at night by eating such kinds of foods, you will not be able to do so, because your metabolism is very sluggish. You might just end up feeling very, very tired. And it is not, and all of these foods, they are basically not going to provide you with adequate amounts of energy, and the energy that they give you might just end up very soon. So then you might just go on and start eating foods which are wrong. So again, you might just end up gaining weight, you will have digestive issues, your skin might just go bad, and your brain might not get enough amounts of energy. So in short, your productivity is going to reduce. In short, you will not be able to work the way you should be, and somehow you're just going to mess up the whole idea of fasting if you eat the wrong kinds of foods. So hence, it's very, very important. I am repeating this on and off. It's very, very important to eat the right kind of foods. If you don't eat the right kind of foods during Ramadan, you will also see the effects post Ramadan. So it's not just that, okay, Ramadan is over and, things are going to be sorted, but then all of these things, somewhere the fat is going to get stored with the wrong kinds of foods you eat. You will start seeing that you are gaining weight, your metabolism is getting affected. So all of these things are going to happen even post Ramadan. It's not just that Ramadan is over and it will be gone. It might just have an effect right there. Also, once Ramadan is over and we have Eid, Eid is again a time when we just feast. Okay, so we will end up eating a biryani, we will end up eating a korma with naan. So this is something we just don't stop even after Ramadan is over. During Eid, also the same thing continues, the same cycle continues for 3 to 4 days, even after Eid is over. For weeks, we have parties, and again, we are eating the wrong kind of foods. So, somewhere we need to realize that if we are just going to eat these kind of foods, somewhere or the other we are going to go down with a health issue. And most of the times, if we see in our Muslim households, we have food which is very, very oily, which is very high in salt, it is very high in sugar. So somehow we know we are eating the wrong kinds of foods, but still we just don't want to do anything about it. And when Ramadan gives us a chance to do something about it, we just don't do anything. So very, very important that we eat the right kind of foods, and we get over the idea of feasting during Ramadan. Yes, Anya.
Yeah, that is very nice. So that's the one thing which is why we held this session here, and we are going to telecast this on the YouTube also and as well on a local Muslim community, because it's issues of prime importance and we neglect it and we take it very lightly. About this, I also came across one hadith which said the more people eat their fill in the world, the more hungry they will be on the day of resurrection. So, I mean, that is of very importance. And one thing which I always find among Muslims is they give a lot of importance to food being halal or haram rather than the lawful part of it, but not on the whether the food is good or no. I mean, whether it is good, because if you read, I think it's the Quranic verse in Surah Bakar in chapter 2, wherein it is said that eat of food which is lawful and pure, or lawful and good,
Absolutely.
because it's
Absolutely.
mentioned and good too. It's not just written eat of food which is lawful. A lot of people give so much importance on the haram halal aspect of it, and they ignore the part that it is supposed to be good as well. So, anyways, what do you think? Okay, we have realized that our eating patterns are wrong, but what should an ideal suhoor or iftar be like then?
Okay, if we are talking of an ideal suhoor, our suhoor basically needs to be a combination of the right kind of carbohydrates. So basically, a complex carbohydrate and protein. So if you are looking at eating something healthy, it can be a bowl of oats, because oats is very high in fiber, which is a complex carbohydrate. And you have milk, which is a good source of protein. And you can just add fruits of your choice and have that for your suhoor. Okay, if you don't want to eat a very heavy meal, so I think this is the ideal breakfast that you can have. Sometimes you can have either boiled eggs, or you can have something which is poached, or something which is scrambled with vegetables, and you can have it with a whole wheat bread slice. Also, you can have a whole wheat bread slice. You can just add on some bananas and put some chia seeds on it, and you can have it. Both chia seeds are a very good source of fiber again. Okay, so it can fill you up. You will not feel hungry, and your digestive system will also be at peace. Also, you can have a smoothie. You can just add vegetables of your choice and fruit of your choice, and you can make a green smoothie, or you can make a yogurt based smoothie with fruits like strawberries, or you can have a banana oat smoothie. So it is something which is simple. You just don't need to complicate it. Also for suhoor, if you have you can also make a dates milkshake. You just don't need to add any sugar into it. Just milk and dates, because dates is considered to be very very good for our system, very high in iron, a good source of fiber. It has natural sugar, so you will not end up feeling really hungry, and your metabolism is not going to crash. So you have options like you can have oats, or you can have something which is quinoa is becoming very very known these days. So you can have quinoa salad, or you can have like a quinoa porridge. You can have a dalia porridge, which is also known as broken wheat lapsi. That is what we call it. So you have various options which you can choose from. It's not necessary you have to eat something like keema pao. It's not like you have to eat something. You have to eat a heavy gravy with rice, with roti. So you just don't need to pressurize your system, because what we ideally feel is the more we eat during suhoor, the more we will be able to retain it. But that is absolutely wrong, because by the time it's evening, all the food that you're eating for suhoor is digested. So it takes like max 2 to 3 hours to digest the food that you're eating. Okay, and then absolutely it's just over. So the energy that you need will again come from the fat cells that you have in your body. So it's not necessary that you have to eat too much during suhoor to feel full. Also, we have options like halim. Okay, and you can just add some boiled chicken into it, and you can make some halim. You can prepare it a day prior, and you can have it in the morning. Halim, you can prepare halim with oats and broken wheat, that is dalia. So you have various healthy options to choose from. You can have an egg salad. Okay, you can have a chicken salad. You can have a moong sprout salad. You can have a chickpea salad, rajma salad. So you have various options to choose from. You just don't necessarily need to eat something that is very heavy. You can opt for a Frankie as to that matter, okay, which is you can just have a whole wheat roti, a whole wheat chapati. You can add vegetables of your choice. You can have chicken, some chicken, boiled chicken, shredded chicken. You can make a roll out of it, and you can just give it to your kids, or you can also have it. So, or you can have a sandwich, okay, a whole wheat bread sandwich. You don't need to add cheese or too much of butter into it. Just light, you can just add vegetables of your choice, a little bit of chutney, and I think that should be enough. So we have many options, healthy options to choose from, Alia. But then what we usually do is we end up eating the wrong kinds of foods because it has been a trend. It has been like a trend, okay, because your father is somebody who eats, he eats keema pao, he eats a chicken gravy with rice, or basically, I've also seen people just end up eating an entire meal during suhoor. So they will just eat up, dal, sabzi, rice, and everything. So they just want to eat a whole meal so that they are able to, retain everything. You just don't have to eat an entire meal during suhoor because that is it will you will feel more hungry in the end, you will feel more sluggish, and you will feel more tired. If you eat the correct foods in the proper proportions, you won't feel, your metabolism won't crash, you won't feel really hungry, you won't feel tired, you will be able to carry those energy levels even till iftar. So we have various options to choose from. So we can have all of these options. These are very simple to make, won't take much of time. If you need to make a salad, you can just chop all the vegetables of your choice a night prior. You can put it in a Ziploc bag, and next morning you can just add in your moong sprouts into it, and you can make a salad out of it. So it becomes very, very easy. Also, it is very, very important that you have at least 1 to 2 glasses of water during suhoor because water is very, very important in order to keep your body hydrated. You just don't have to drink a soda, you just don't have to drink a carbonated drink because you need to feel full of energy. Again, it has a lot of sugar in it. It is just going to crash your metabolism, it is just going to bring down your energy levels. So it's very, very important that you choose from these options. You can have anything from these options, you can even make your own variants, and just make suhoor more fun and healthy and nutritious, obviously.
All right. That was very nice. And even I think I would like to add on this is one sunnah dish that is talbina. If many people are aware of,
Yes,
talbina is barley, and I mean, in
yes.
fact, I really prefer using this talbina flour around
Yeah,
3 4 teaspoons, and you just roast it in the pan and add milk to it and cook for around 5 10 minutes. Or you also get these barley
like a
flakes.
porridge.
Yeah. It becomes like a porridge, and there's the barley flakes which you get.
Yes.
Barley flakes is much better because you just put it in the microwave, and within 2 3 minutes it's done with milk. And rather than adding sugar, if we add dates to it, and
Absolutely.
it's really, I mean, because it's one of barley has got a lot of benefits. It is mentioned in the tibbe that it has got a lot of benefits. And in fact, even during iftar, if you use barley and meat, it's a very good delicacy. In fact,
Yeah, it's
it is
in
found
fact
to
very
cure
good for,
depression. Yeah.
yeah, it's very good for weight loss also. Barley, if we are looking to lose weight, I think we can even have a ragi porridge as for that matter. Ragi or nachni, it's the same thing. So we can also have a ragi or nachni porridge. We can have a barley porridge. We can have a barley salad. We can have a light barley soup. So we have many various options to choose from even during suhoor. So we just don't need to get restricted to the kind of diet we have been used to all these years. And one thing that I need to say, this is very, very important. Most of the times I see people who don't, they are very not very comfortable having suhoor. They might just eat some biscuits. They might just eat, a white bread, or they might just eat something that is, something ready-made that is available. So they might just make a ready-made soup. Or I've also seen, kids. Kids will say, "Oh, I don't want to eat anything else. You just make Maggie and you give it to me." So Maggie is again nothing but maida. It's nothing but refined flour. So And one more thing, in India, in Mumbai, if you see, most of us we get these paos, the pav bhaji paos. So the pav that we are very used to these paos. So every day our breakfast is a pav, and even when Ramadan is here, we just think, okay, I can eat a pav in the morning, one or two with tea, and I'm done. Again, it's a very wrong choice to make because it is maida. At the end of the day, anything, almost everything you get, whether it's a biscuit, whether it's a pav, whether it's a bread, whether it's a paratha that you get in the market, which is, frozen, all of these have maida. And maida, let me tell you, is a very, very, is very, very bad for the system. It's very bad for your digestive system. It is very bad for diabetics, very bad for people who are suffering from cholesterol. So if you need to take care of your health, and if you are health conscious, it is very, very important that you just leave this maida out of your diet. You just need to throw this maida out of your diet, whether it's Ramadan or whether it's not Ramadan. Just remove it out of your diet and make sure you never welcome it again. Once in a while, if you are having, if it's a pav bhaji, or if you are, if there is something, if it's a keema pav, or if you want to make something out of pav, once in a while it's okay, but just make sure you just don't make it a habit. So that is what it just clicked me, because I have also seen people in my family, and I've seen my relatives, I've seen some of my friends.
Video stopped. Is your first fast this Ramadan. Even I'm like planning to have my child's first fast. So I mean, what
Okay.
do you think, inshallah, should be the kind of diet plan? Because you are kids, and we need to be extra careful, especially if we are first year of fasting. What dietary
Yeah.
recommendations you suggest?
Aaliyah, when a child is about to fast, first of all, the child is not used to staying hungry for such long hours, because, as mothers, or as a dadi or as a grandmother, we are always worried, okay, he has eaten enough food or no, and everything. So when the child is fasting for the first time, it is very, very careful that you explain to the child that, these are the benefits of fasting, and that is the reason you should start fasting. First of all, very important to educate them about the topic of uh, Ramadan. Very necessary to educate them about fasting, why it is helpful, and then you can just ask your child, what would your child like to have for suhoor. So most of the times, as I said, because it's the first fast or something, the child might say, okay, you just give me a Maggie, you just give me a soup, or you just give me biscuits to eat, you just give me anything, you just give me chips to eat. So the child might not be very much used to eating like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, because they all usually have their breakfast at 10 or 9. So when they are fasting, it's very, very important that you make something very light for your child, and you ask him a day prior that, okay, fine, would you be comfortable having something like this? If your child is saying, okay, I want to have a tomato soup, you just make the tomato soup, or a Maggie tomato soup, and just give it to me. You rather tell him, okay, I'll make a tomato soup for you at home, and I will give it to you next morning. So you can always, just like I said, you can have something like a Frankie for your child. You just make a healthy Frankie for your child and just cut it into pieces, and just decorate it in front of the child and just keep it. And if the child just likes it, you might just end up eating the whole of it. So it's not going to harm your child. It's in fact going to help him keep his fast very nicely. Also, kids nowadays, they are very fond of, just like I said, they are very fond of sandwiches, they are very fond of Frankies, they are very fond of pastas, they are very fond of noodles. You always have a healthier option. So you can just make a whole wheat pasta for them. If they say, okay, mama, I will have pasta for suhoor, so just give me some pasta. So rather than giving them a pasta which comes from outside, you just get some whole wheat pasta, just stock it in your home, and you just add good amount of veggies. You saute it. Don't add too much of oil, too much of salt, too many sauces into it. Just make a light pasta and give it to your child. So once he just starts enjoying the whole course of suhoor, then you would not want to pressurize your child, or even as for that matter, your child might not say, okay, I want this, I want that. So very very important. Or you can just keep a bowl of fresh fruits in front of your child and tell your child, okay, for today you can have a fruit. Okay, you can, or just give them, you can have a simple a fruit with, you can just apply a little of peanut butter on it. You can just put some chia seeds and you can give it to your child and tell him, okay, today you want to have a light suhoor, fine, we can just we can, you can just have a fruit of your choice with a little bit of peanut butter on it and you're done. So your child, you're making sure that your child is getting enough amount of carbohydrates, your child is getting enough amounts of protein. Also, smoothie milkshakes are a very good option. Or you can also have something like a fruit yogurt for your child, wherein you can just add yogurt and fruits of your child's choice, and you can just give it to your child with some roasted flat bread. I think the child would not only enjoy the entire course of suhoor, but also would learn to eat healthy in the course. So somewhere we ourselves are going to educate our children, because that is the time when they are going to start their first fast. And when you give them the right kind of foods, they themselves start learning, okay, I'm supposed to eat all of these things which are going to be good for us. So you just don't have to, just like all of us have, the same kind of food, or you can, as for that matter, make an omelette for them. You can make scrambled eggs for them. You can have boiled eggs, something that your child is very fond of. So before your child is even wanting to fast, you need to talk to your child about it. You need to tell your child why it is important. You need to educate your child about it. And I think when there is a lot of preparation, things become much more easier. So you don't have to convince your child to eat certain foods. If you have already educated your child about the right kind of foods and about the right kind of suhoor, I think your child would be very very happy, keeping his first fast. So I think all of these, because we know the trend nowadays, the kind of foods our kids are used to, it always becomes easier that we work on the same lines, but in a healthier manner. It's not necessarily okay if your child is asking for a pasta, you just make a white sauce pasta and you give it to your child. No. You can always opt for healthier options. And I think in every country nowadays, be it India, be it Dubai, be it UK or US, you have many, many healthy options to give your children. So why opt for the wrong options? It's always very very necessary that you, just like you are educating your yourself to eat healthy, it's very very important that you educate your child to eat healthy as well. So also during iftar, you should always give your child something that is very light, because even children, they need to study, they might have their exams around the corner, or it might be holidays for them, they need energy to play out. And again, even they need to pray. So obviously, just like us, unlike us, our children are not going to be very used to the phenomenon of fasting. And hence, if you give them the right kind of foods, they will have energy to study, they will have energy to play, and they will not feel tired. But if you just give them the wrong foods, if you say, okay, chalo, you have a burger or you have anything that is fried, that is going to end up affecting your child's health. So we need to make sure that just like we are focusing on our health, we also make our children aware about eating healthy. So as I said, we can have a Frankie, we can have a sandwich, we can have a homemade pasta which does not have a sauce, a heavy sauce, and we can have, just a little bit of sautéed veggies just to go with, or you can just have, an egg omelette wrapped into a whole wheat roti. You can just make, just like a Frankie, you can make it. Or you can also have paratha, which is a light paratha, not something, not the fried parathas that we have. You can have a carrot paratha, you can have a mixed veg paratha, you can have a garlic paratha, you can have, spring onion paratha. So you have many, many options to choose from. So your child is just going to enjoy the whole course. And as for that matter, even during iftar, you can have like soups for your child, you can have mixed foods for your child, you can have bread version, because kids are very very fond of bread. So you can have a whole wheat bread, you just put a low fat cheese onto it, or you can have a feta cheese, and you can make a light sandwich for your child with the veggies your child likes. So you need to work on those lines, the lines on which your child has been used to eating. But make sure it's a healthier version. Make sure it's healthy, but your child is going to enjoy it. So it's going to be tasty. Just don't make it okay just because if he's supposed to eat healthy, you just make something bland and you give it to your child. Your child is not going to enjoy it. And from the next day, he might just tell you, Mama, I don't want to fast. So, first day itself, just make something very interesting. Again, you can have in the morning if your child is saying, "Mama, I don't want to eat something heavy." Make a smoothie, or you can just have a milk. You can have a buttermilk, or you can have a mango lassi, wherein you just don't add too much of sugar. Okay, sugar is not required. Mangoes themselves are very, very sweet. So you choose the sweet mangoes and you just make a lassi out of it, a mango lassi, and I think that is what is going to be enough for your child. So your child would not want to eat something which is very heavy in the morning, because some of us, even I, as for that matter, I'm not very fond of eating something heavy for suhoor. So children, when they are fasting for the first time, it is very, very important that you give them something light rather than giving them something which is very, very heavy. Yes, Aaliyah.
All right, subhanallah, that's very interesting. And also I wanted to know about the diabetics, because the diabetics have a lot of issues during fasting time. So what exactly tips could you like to say about the diabetics?
Alia, actually, we have two types of diabetics. That is, we have type 1 diabetics and type 2 diabetics. Most of the times, if you see, type 1 diabetes happens in more of children as compared to adults. But there are 5% of adults who can be type 1 diabetic. And mostly, if you see in countries like India, if you see the Indian population, most of them are type 2 diabetics. So when they are type 2 diabetics, most of the times they do not require insulin, because when insulin comes into the picture, then things become a little more difficult and different, because some people who are used to insulin, they might not be able to fast very easily, because their blood sugar levels are fluctuating each and every time, and hence it becomes a little difficult for them to fast. For diabetics, as I said, fasting itself has a benefit. It increases insulin sensitivity. So insulin is going to facilitate the take up of glucose into your cells much more faster as compared to it has been doing before. So if you fast in the right way, as I said, not just for a not just for a diabetic, even for a normal person, you need to eat right foods. And as I said, in the morning, if you're eating a combination of carbs and proteins and good fats. Good fats, what do I mean by good fats? Good fats is basically something which is required by our body. Okay, fat is necessary for our body. In 10 to 15% of fat is what we require from our diet every day, and that 10 to 15% needs to come from good fats. So basically, good fats, foods which contain good fats are walnuts, almonds, chia seeds, flax seeds, avocado, salmon, fishes basically, and you can have sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, which are rich in these good fats. So if it is a combination of all of these things, it can help diabetics in balancing their blood sugar levels. Okay, it can be really good for their blood sugar levels. They will be able to keep their blood sugar levels in control, provided they don't go and eat the wrong kind of foods for iftar. So I'm saying this repeatedly because this is very, very important, not just for diabetics, but even for a normal person. So if you are going to just like a diabetic is opening his fast, so obviously we are going to open it with 2 dates.
Huda is still, your speaker has gone down. We just have two, three questions and then we'll wind up for the session. It's too late, I believe. Huda, be there soon. Subhanallah, I. It's really annoying. It just keeps going on and off. But subhanallah, it's a plan of Allah. Thankfully, she said. Because generally, if the session keeps breaking, then the link just goes off, of what people are talking.
Yes, I'm back.
Yeah, it keeps happening. All right. So that is one thing. And I think my next question was about some people who cannot eat suhoor properly. So I think even that, or most much of it you have covered in the kids part of it. And for people who cannot eat well during suhoor, is there anything more you would like to add to it? Because I think it's covered mostly in the kids section about people who do not eat suhoor properly.
Yeah. So as I said, when we feel that we cannot eat much during suhoor, or we are not very comfortable eating at 4 or 5 in the morning, most of the times what we do is we opt for, as I said, biscuits or a pav or a bread, because we feel okay, it is very light, which is something that we are not supposed to do. As I said, smoothies. Okay, I can just add on one more option. You have something known as sugar-free muesli. So some people are very fond of eating cornflakes, ragi loops, or these fruit loops. Again, they are very high in sugar. Okay, and they have added preservatives. So if you want a healthier version, or if you want something that you can eat during that time, I think sugar-free muesli is something that you need to go with. Because if you see corn in itself is not it's not a vegetable. It's actually a cereal. If you go to see maize, that is what we say. So it is not a complete meal in itself. So if we are going to eat cornflakes, again we are going to start feeling hungry really fast. So when we are, in the sugar-free muesli, you can just add some dates, you can just add some fruits of your choice, little bit of milk, or you can also have it with yogurt if you don't like milk. Or as for that matter, if you are lactose intolerant and you feel you will not be able to have milk, you can have it with soy milk or almond milk. So you have various options to choose from. Again, as I said, a mango lassi or a smoothie or a milkshake, a banana and oats milkshake is something which is very, very good. It is very filling, high in protein, high in carbohydrates, complex carbs. So it is because we have a combination of oats and banana. Banana actually can give you a lot of energy. Okay, and it's not bad for diabetics. It's not bad for a normal person. If you eat it in the right portions, it's absolutely okay. So, yeah, smoothies is a very good option. Muesli is a very good option. Porridges are a very good option. Like we had a barley porridge, or we have a ragi porridge, or we have a dalia porridge, we have an oats porridge, we have a quinoa porridge. So, you can always choose many of these. You can have a light salad if you feel that you cannot eat too much. You can have a moong sprout salad, you can have a chickpea salad, you can have a rajma salad, or as for that matter, you can just add on veggies of your choice and just have it, or you can just stir fry certain vegetables together with little amount of oil. You can just add little bit of pepper, little bit of oregano, little salt, and I think you should be good to go. And then you can have just a bowl of curd along with it. I think that it's a very light meal also, and you will not even feel very hungry during the course of the day, because vegetables, again, they are loaded up with fiber and they can fill up your system. So you have various options to choose from. It's not necessary that you have to eat something very, very heavy. As I said, you can also have something which is very, very simple but has the right proportion of carbohydrates, proteins, and good fats. So, and it goes for everybody, be it a diabetic, be it a non-diabetic, be it somebody who's suffering from cholesterol, be it somebody who's not suffering from cholesterol or hypertension. It goes for everyone. So we need to know how we can balance our meals, how we can eat healthy even during the course of Ramadan. So I think our life is pretty much easy if we just choose the right kind of path, if we just choose the nutritious and healthy path, rather than opting for anything that is wrong. Because when we add on wrong things to our diet, we end up complicating our system, we end up complicating our lives, and we give, it becomes painful for us in the long course. So, so somehow I feel we can just live a very simple life. Nutrition is also not something, is not about eating something which is very fancy. It is not about buying expensive ingredients from the market and eating. Even if you have simple ingredients in your kitchen, even if you have some minimal spices in your kitchen, if you have some fruits, if you have some vegetables, if you have some healthy cereals to go with, I think your life is very, very easy. Not just suhoor, but your other meals, even if you want to have
Exactly.
dinner, it becomes very, very simple.
Yeah,
So I
that's
think,
great.
yeah,
That's great,
that is
Subhana.
what.
Yeah, that's a great thing you said. And we'll just go quick with this two ones because I think we are getting, it's almost 54 minutes, and I think the live session is
Yes.
almost about 59 minutes, so we need to wind up soon. And inshallah, I just wanted to know a quick thing on this about what dietary plans could you recommend before Ramadan? I mean, that's why I took this session before Ramadan because there's some kind of plan which is required before Ramadan. So, what do you suggest in that area?
Okay. Alia, before Ramadan, also you need to make sure that you are eating in the correct proportions. You are eating the right kind of foods. So you need to break up your meals this way. So you have breakfast, and what we do mostly after breakfast, we just go on to our lunch. So we don't have to do that. We need to have our mid meals into place. So again, you need to have a fruit. Every two, you can have two fruits in a day. You can have two servings of fruits in a day. You can have at least 3 to 4 servings of vegetables in a day. You need to keep your meals very, very light even before Ramadan, because we are preparing for Ramadan. And somewhere, if you are, if you are not healthy enough, if you are not eating the right foods before Ramadan, uh, Ramadan is going to become difficult for you. So hence, you need to break up your meals at least into 5 or 6 meals in a day. Okay, you need to, after your breakfast, you can have a mid meal. Then you can have your lunch. Then after your lunch in the evening, you can have a light evening snack. It need not be a bread, or it need not be a biscuit or chips. It can be something as simple as roasted kurmura. It can be something as simple as a handful of roasted chana or peanuts. It can be a poha chivda. So anything which is very, very simple. You just don't have to add on too many meals. And then you can have after that, for your late evening, again you can have a fruit with some nuts of your choice. Then you can have your dinner again needs to be a proper combination of your carbohydrates, your proteins, and your fiber, because fiber is very, very essential for the system, not just for weight loss, but even for maintaining the weight that you are at. Very important is that if you are able to maintain your weight before Ramadan, there are higher possibilities that you can keep your weight into check even during Ramadan. Because if you are like right from 1 month onwards, 1 month before Ramadan, if you are just selecting the wrong kinds of foods, if you have very erratic schedules, you are not able to drink enough water, you're not able to eat enough food, you're not able to eat the right kind of foods even before Ramadan, then during Ramadan your entire schedule might just go for a toss, because during Ramadan many things change. And hence, I think, I would just like to give out these pointers which are very, very important for a person to remain healthy. Okay, so very important. You need to eat 5 to 6 meals in a day, and mid meals are very, very important. Secondly, you need to sleep for at least 7 to 8 hours in a day. Then you need to drink at least 8 to 10 glasses of water in a day. Very, very important. Your meals should have fiber, because fiber is very, very necessary. If you don't want to go down with constipation, if you want your bowel movement to be in place, then fiber is very, very important. Don't forget to add good fats in your diet. As I said, walnuts, peanuts, you can have avocado, you can have fishes. So don't forget to add these into your diet. Don't forget to add your daily have at least 3 to 4 servings of vegetables. It can be in any form. Make sure you have your breakfast. Make sure you don't skip your breakfast or any other meal as for that matter. Because if you skip any of the meals, you might just end up eating more in the consecutive meal. And if you're looking at losing weight, or if you're looking at maintaining your
All right, I think The internet on her end has gone bad. I think the session, internet on her end has gone bad once again. And I'll just mention about the Islamic perspective of fasting. I think we'll wind up because we will now have to leave. So just describing on the last part of it, the Islamic perspective on eating well, which I had mentioned before, that people differentiate a lot on. Yeah, you're back once again. You just keep rolling around the whole house with that.
Yeah,
It just keeps
okay.
happening. We need to go around all the house. Sometimes the internet is not coming in. And I was actually just mentioning out to the people out here because just before you entered about the Islamic perspective of fasting, and I had this hadith wherein I said that the son of Adam does not fill a vessel more evil than stomach. A few morsels
Yeah,
are sufficient to keep him on his feet. If he has to eat more,
absolutely.
1/3 for stomach, 1/3 for drink, and 1/3 for bread. And in fact, I said I
Absolutely.
saw that a lot of researches were done in this segment, and they also found this hadith to be true. Alhamdulillah. I mean,
Absolutely.
obviously we agree to be true, but scientifically it's also been proven. So Alhamdulillah, that is one important aspect to it. And I think even the halal aspect, where I said that people do not consider the health aspect of food. And in fact, if you go on researching, there are many more hadith on this segment.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
so one more thing which I had in mind was, especially if you would like to save time, you should have plan of 30 meals day in advance, before Ramadan, so that it's not like you get up in the morning of fast and then you're thinking what to make in the evening. I think if you have
Yes.
this planned around 30 days, then it's much better. And
Yes. Yes.
keep some things
Absolutely.
ready-made stuff like ready. I mean, some things frozen so that you can just instantly remove that and just cook off. So it makes life easier and gives you more time for ibadah. And anything
Yeah.
more here which you would
Absolutely.
like to add on that?
I would just like to continue what I was saying before, and
Mhm.
very, very important. We need to even look at our salt, sugar, and oil intake. So, if you see a normal person does not require more than 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 3 to 4 teaspoons of oil in a day. I think that is more than enough for a normal human being to go with. So, what we just end up doing is too much of salt. We just throw in too much of salt into our gravies. Anything that we are making, as for that matter, even if it is a simple breakfast, it has so much of salt. So, rather, we can have other alternatives. We can have sea salt, we can have rock salt as other alternatives. Okay, in sometimes I see even if we are having a plain lime water, we just tend to put in too much of sugar, salt, and chaat masala into it. But then that is not required. So you just need to work on these lines as well, because if you want to if you want to lead a healthy lifestyle, these are you can say these are the measures of a healthy lifestyle. So if you and then very, very important, you need to be physically active. It is not that okay, chalo मैं आज घर पे बैठूंगी, आज mood नहीं हो रहा है, you should at least go for a walk. If nothing, if you cannot, just go to the gym, if you cannot just, do any other form of exercise, just be very, very physically active, and not just during the normal schedule, but even during Ramadan. You should make it a point that after iftar, after you have, you've prayed, you just go, down, you just walk for at least 30-35 minutes, feel refreshed, because I think that is a very good way of feeling refreshed. It's a very good way of it's just like opening up your mind, because you get good fresh air, and you can just relieve all your stress out. So also I would like to mention that during Ramadan we should try to reduce the use of electronic devices, because we are very much into using our laptops, our iPads, our phones during Ramadan, because during Ramadan also, because we are praying, and because we are getting up early in the morning, and we don't get enough sleep in the day. So very, very important that you just switch off your phone, or you just put it on the silent mode and you just go off to sleep. very important to relax, because during Ramadan we need to at least reduce the usage of our electronic devices. And when you have to sleep, you have to sleep. Just don't be with your phone and keep on working, and then you just end up feeling stressed the very next day. So make sure everything is into place. So just like you said, even during Ramadan, okay, even before Ramadan, you need to have a plan into place so that it becomes very important. So what you can do is just a week before Ramadan, you can just you can have a book, you can have a booklet, anything as to that matter. You can just write down what all you are supposed to do in Ramadan. You can make a timetable for yourself, okay. You can also make a list of foods that you need to bring from the grocery for Ramadan. Make sure you're not getting very heavy stuff for Ramadan. Make sure you're not getting spring rolls and you're not getting cheese pockets and all of that, which has to be deep fried. Make sure that whatever you want to eat, you make it at home. And you make it at home and stock it in your refrigerator. You just don't have to source it from outside. So very important. Even if you're feeling like having anything, make sure it is homemade, because when you make things at home, you are able to minimize the amount of salt, the amount of sugar, the amount of oil that is used. And most importantly, I would like to say it would be very good if we can go more towards the grilled, baked, and boiled section, rather than having too many fried food items. Okay, or if you even have to fry something, make sure it is just shallow fried, or you're using a grill, or you are using an air fryer, which we have nowadays. Because we need to minimize the amount of oil we are using during Ramadan. Because if we have a big 3 or 5 liters of, you know, a tank of that we are getting during Ramadan, an oil tank, what happens is during Ramadan, the entire oil tends to get over. Okay, because the usage of oil is so much. Every day we have a pakoda, every day we have a spring roll, every day we have a cheese pocket, every day we have something that is, you're making a chicken item which has too much of oil. So very important that you just write things down. You just make a list, a to-do list of all the foods that you need to have before Ramadan, all the foods that you need to get from the grocery during Ramadan. And it's best if you are able to get fresh fruits and vegetables, because the fresher the fruit is, the more the benefits. And also it's very important that you get seasonal fruits and have seasonal fruits, because it's summer in India, and we have fruits like mango, watermelon, we have pineapple, we have muskmelon. Because if it's a seasonal fruit has maximum benefits during that season. If you eat it post the season, it might not give you those many benefits, and half of the times it becomes very difficult to source other food items. So it's very important you don't go for frozen or canned fruits and vegetables. Try and buy seasonal ones. Try and buy fresh ones from the market. So even if you have to go for grocery every 3 or 4 days, make sure you have a time for that too, and you do like a grocery for 20 to 30 minutes, and you get fresh fruits and vegetables for yourself. So all of these things are very important during the course of Ramadan and even before Ramadan. So you need to be prepared, just like you say, just like when we have to go for an exam, just like we have to give an exam, we make sure that we are prepared a month prior to the exam. We have done all our revision, we have done everything that is required. So similarly, even if you have to, even if you know that Ramadan is going to start from 25th of May, you should know what all you are supposed to do during Ramadan, what all foods you are supposed to eat, and what all foods you are supposed to avoid. So it's like taking up an exam. So if you are taking up an exam, you need preparation. Without preparation, you will just fail in the exam. So if you just want to succeed in your goal of, fasting for all 30 days, if you want your fasting to go very smoothly, very important that you, keep everything in place. Very important that you jot down what foods you are supposed to give your children, what foods you are supposed to eat during suhoor, during iftar. Our main aim should be connecting with Allah. Our main aim should be praying, more than concentrating on the foods that we are going to cook, or when is the next dawat we have to go to, when is the next iftar dawat we are supposed to have at our place. So very very important that we focus more on connecting with Allah, more on praying rather than eating and feasting during Ramadan.
That's a very nice point you said, Huda, and that's something which was the whole essence of this topic to be said. And inshallah, I hope, Alhamdulillah, all of you have benefited out of it. I mean, I couldn't find many viewers this time, but inshallah, hopefully in our YouTube session and all those who see it later on, inshallah, it benefits them. And you know what I feel is everybody, 70% of the people have knowledge, but the implementation part of it is where people
Absolutely.
lack in. So
Absolutely.
it's not just listening, it's just not implement, it's not just having knowledge, it's about implementing it. I know the kind of Asian community we are in, it's very difficult to change, but somewhere down the line, it's something which is being passing on from generation to generation, and if you stop it, your kids will implement the same thing. So it has to come in from someone, and someone has to take the lead to a change, which can be of
Absolutely.
benefit to others. So
Absolutely.
inshallah, with this, I end the session. Anything more do you need to say, Huda, about this?
All that I need to say is have a happy Ramadan. Please focus on praying more rather than eating. Okay, and eat the right kind of foods. Make sure you're feeding the right kind of foods to your kids, to your entire family. Make sure you are not eating a lot of fried, processed, and refined foods, and make sure that you stay healthy throughout the course of Ramadan, and take care of yourself, take care of your family, and make sure they are eating the right kind of foods. And make sure if you have a diabetic at your home, if you have somebody who's suffering from cholesterol, you obviously need to take care of their diet during Ramadan. You need to tell them, you need to educate them about what foods are good for them and what foods can help them in keeping their blood sugar levels to optimum. And this is a message that this is going to be a takeaway message for everybody. And this is not just for Ramadan, but it is going to be for the entire 365 days that we are into during a year. We should not we should eat to live, and we should not live to eat. Very very important, because half of the times, half of our life just goes into what I should eat tomorrow, what I should eat in the evening, what should be there for dinner, what is different for dinner, what is different for breakfast today, what is different for lunch today. So we just need to get rid of all of these things. It's not just about eating, but it is about getting, if you have to stay healthy, okay, you need to get proper sleep, you need to drink enough of water, you need to remain away from stress. Okay, don't make best friends with stress. All of us have stress in our lives, but that does not mean that you should just adapt to it and start feeling low each and every day. Stay motivated in life. Okay, be it anything, be it a diet, or be it a work, be it your job, be it your new project. Just stay motivated, just be confident, just give it your 100%, whether it's a diet or whether it's anything in your life. So it has to be, health has to be a holistic approach. Health should not it should not just be restricted to nutrition, because nutrition can come into the picture only if your lifestyle is good. So if you need to lead a healthy life, your lifestyle has to be very very good. So basically what you see on your plate is a result of your lifestyle. So your nutrition, the kind of nutrition you have, is influenced by your lifestyle. So very, very important that today, if you are doing anything that is wrong, go, believe in yourself and just try and change your lifestyle, modify your lifestyle. And very important message that I would like to give out to all Muslims, even as Muslims, and it's very very important that we stay away from things like smoking, we stay away from things like drinking, because this is not what Islam teaches us, and it is not what it's that's the reason Islam has told us that we are not supposed to adapt anything that is intoxicating. Because when you just lose your senses, when you just don't if when you just smoke, and when you just drink, you are doing the wrong kind of thing, and it is going to affect your body on the whole. And it is not just going to affect you, but it is going to affect your entire family. It is going to affect people who are around you. So just get rid of all of these habits. Very, very important. Though we are in the 21st century, but that does not mean we adopt wrong habits to lead a happy and healthy lifestyle. Even, even with the right kind of foods, even with the right kind of lifestyle that you carry, it is very you can you can lead your life very, very easily. It's not necessary just that in order to get rid of stress you need to smoke, or you need to drink, or you need to, as for that matter, get into a habit of taking drugs. Very, very wrong. And if you have been doing this, please, I would just say that do toba and just stop doing it. In Ramadan, just learn to lead a healthy lifestyle. Just learn to lead a happy life without all of these things. You don't require all of these things to live a happy and healthy life. Even without it, you can live a very good life, but provided you know how you can manage your stress levels, how you can manage the work pressure that you have. It's all on us. Okay, so if we decide that we will not do all of these things, there is nobody who can force us into it. Very, very important. So just one message: just give up all your wrong habits this Ramadan, and pledge that you will not touch anything that is wrong, not just as a Muslim, but as a human being who needs to be good to himself, who needs to be good to his family, and who needs to be good to everybody around. So if you need to be kind, if you need to be loving, just make sure you just get rid of all of these bad habits. Because somewhere when you have all of these bad habits, you just don't damage your own self, your own life, but you end up damaging the lives who are close to you. So very, very important.
Very true. So, Alhamdulillah, that was a really very enlightening session from Sister Huda, and inshallah, we just pray that we all just not gain knowledge, implement it in our lifestyles, in our homes. And there are actually two extreme people. Some just consider Ramadan as a routine for weight loss. It's not just a
Absolutely.
routine for weight loss. It has its spiritual and health aspect. An ideal and proactive individual will be the one who implements, takes both the healthy and the spiritual aspect of it, and leads it and spends their Ramadan and makes the most use out of it, inshallah.
Make the
So
most
with
out of
this,
your Ramadan.
yeah, very important, very important. So
Yeah.
inshallah, I mean, Ramadan is a month away, but still happy Ramadan from our end. Inshallah, in the next sessions, we'll be covering up more sessions on the emotional aspect of it as well as the health aspect. So inshallah, till then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Jazakallah khair.